Having an impact on someone's life can be very rewarding. Last week, I had the chance to interview Bree Koulos, a women's basketball coach. She's an assistant here at Ball State University. I had the chance to interview her and learn a little bit about her leadership style and how she effectively communicates her leadership to the women athletes on her team. In this speech, I'm going to talk about a little bit of what she does and who she is, and then go into how she effectively communicates her leadership, and lastly, give some insights of what I actually learned from her. So to begin, the person I interviewed is Bree Koulos. She's an assistant women's basketball coach at Ball State. She's starting her third season here. I'm a junior at Ball State, so I've actually played under her for 2 years now, so I've actually been able to hands-on see the type of leader that she is. Bree's always worked at Ball State, has not always worked at Ball State, so before working for the Cardinals, she played basketball at Kansas State for 1 year and then transferred to Johnson County Community College in Missouri for another year, and then finished her last 2 years of college playing at Missouri. After her college years, she moved on to play professional basketball, where she was the 28th draft in the WNBA, so she got drafted by the San Antonio Stars, and then she also played professionally in Spain and Germany, all of which has brought her to present day now that she's coaching at Ball State. Now, you may think of Bree as a typical basketball coach, but being a basketball coach, it also comes with the responsibility that you're impacting the women athletes on a day-to-day basis outside of basketball, and I think that's the most important thing. For me personally, what I've experienced from my coaches, and I know it's really important from what I learned from her with my time of interviewing her. Next, I'm going to talk about how Bree effectively communicates her leadership. Bree does a very good job of leading by example. She's always wanted to be the hardest worker and the best version of herself, so she displays that by doing that on a day-to-day basis and hopes that other people will follow. She also told me that she likes to get everyone involved. She thinks that if she gets everyone involved, then making decisions becomes a lot better because it's a decision that's being made with more than just herself, so it's helping the greater good. She guides people to the common goal and is invested in making decisions with everyone involved. I wanted to find out how Bree handled collaboration, reflection, feedback, and conflict, and making decisions, so I asked her how she does it. She told me that she likes feedback because when someone gives her feedback, she can reflect on that and learn from it and make the best decision later. And it helps her improve as a person and as a coach and a leader. The most important thing I remembered most from the interview was how Bree was focused on 3 things every day. Those 3 things are progression, direction, and growth. She said in our interview, this is a quote from our interview, she said, "I communicated these 3 things on a day-to-day basis, especially as a leader impacting young women. An example of this that came to my mind is in practice. I want our players to be the best version of themselves every day, so I do everything I can to help them there. I communicate to them how they're doing, what they can do better, and how to improve to get where I think they can go. To me, that is communicating on a day-to-day basis of what my vision and purpose is." When I heard her say this, I thought this was really, really cool. You can tell how important it is just having impact on her players. You can tell how important it is to her. When I sit back and think, it makes me think that she's a servant leader, that she's not thinking about herself, but she's thinking about other people first. So I actually kind of found a quote from this, according to an article by the Center of Servant Leadership about servant leadership written in 2016. The servant leader shares power, puts the needs of others first, and helps develop and perform as highly as possible. And I believe that Bree did this based on what I've experienced and what she's actually shown. Lastly, I'm going to give a little insight on some new things that she taught me and I learned from her through our interview. I was able to learn more about what goes through her head and how she handles herself in tough situations. I was able to learn how she's very focused on being an impact on on women's basketball players on her team and how she wants to serve others while leading them at the same time. She mentioned basketball a few times, but it seemed like through our interview, what's more important to her is having a relationship with her players that lasts outside of basketball. She wants to make sure that everyone feels welcomed, that you're doing community service on the outside, that you're being a good person, that you're being positive, friendly, nice every single day off the court, because that's the most important. Basketball doesn't last forever, and she said that within our interview. So basketball just gives her a chance and a door to help other people. It just opens up that door for her, she said. To conclude, I hope that you enjoyed my speech and learned a little bit more about Bree and the type of leader that she was. It was great for me to get a chance to hear Bree talk about the things that she does that aren't really basketball related, because I think sometimes people, and even myself, I can get blinded, and other people too, by the fact that she's just a basketball coach and not really look at the things that she does outside, which is more important than basketball itself. That concludes my speech or my presentation. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.